This is actually perfect.
Here we go,
like
guys.
This. I like this.
REO
this
versus
is literally
Tweedy.
War of the Gods. Literally.
And drawing first blood is Tweedy, getting that first bar of health, and has trade up and doing great damage, and a lot of respect right there, and Tweedy capitalizing it and opening up with throw.
Okay, good down one check by REO. Ooh, and that is such a tricky throw. You don't know where you're going until it's over. Okay, good block.
Oh, the corner pressure.
Tweedy burns all this meter.
REO back to the wall and thought that Tweedy was going to go for another 4-2 after that breath, and that's going to close it out even from Chip, and that is it. REO losing his first bar of health convincingly.
Hope you've learned something.
And back to the corner. REO trying to anti-air.
Oh, God.
And doesn't want Superman to get that huge health lead early. He's got such a mountain to climb, though. Keeping himself at full health, but Tweedy's found his way in fairly easy against the zoning dark side.
Yeah, he hasn't really given REO the chance to zone. Okay, here we go. REO's literally been in the corner about 90% of the time in this matchup so far. But now he's got a little bit of room to work with, keeping Tweedy at bay.
Very good from Tweedy to read what REO was trying to put on the screen, which was to keep him grounded and then go for the EX laser, which is a mid, and then just continue the zoning. So that was a really smart decision by Tweedy there, going for the air laser. Oh, and there's that trait, which is going to come at any moment. And Houston's coming and gets him with the overhead. But again, such a huge mountain to climb right now for REO, but he has the resources to do it. And there's something that you never want to count out. I learned a long time ago, you never count this man out. With the experience he has, the situations he's been in, a very good walk back from Tweedy to avoid that low, because that would have clipped him if he was standing if he was standing just the way he was. And that's going to close out for Tweedy.
Yes, it is.
REO did not have a wager. He wagered incredibly early, and by the time REO found his comfort level, it was too late. The damage had been done that Tweedy had done earlier. And we got ourselves a match. Tweedy drawing first blood up 1-0 against REO here in Injustice 2 early on. War of the Gods presented by StreamMe, ladies and gentlemen.
Now, well, man, REO didn't really do anything wrong. He just, Tweedy came in guns blazing right at the very beginning. You know, got him with 2 throws, kind of got in his head, and then pushed him to the corner and got a lot of damage early. And by the time, like you said, REO found his footing and got his game plan going, it was a little bit too late. So we'll see what happens here in the next match. See if REO can tie this thing up 1-1. Let's take us to a game 5, because this needs to be a game 5.
Tweedy has used all the respect that is on the screen because of Superman's 4-2 to his advantage and using these throws perfectly. And we are on a fantastic stage designed by NetherRealm. We're in Atlantis. We're in the trench nursery, and you see that big old trench in the background, waiting for this transition so Black Manta can do some swipes. But Tweedy with the corner pressure, already in the same exact position that he was in game number 1. Tweedy with a huge health lead and has REO in the corner.
Ooh. And this is what REO was able to start, but a little bit too late in that first match. We'll see if it makes a difference here.
Yeah, he is starting it. Oh, and no recognition from REO there to see Superman jump. He could have air lasered there to beat that out, but REO got the health back a little bit there, much faster than they did there in game number 1, where he was already on a 2nd bar of health. And here, trying to apply some mix, and he does catch him with the overhead. REO there is caught him out twice with the overhead, and if he commits with the back 1 up 3, can get some huge damage. Oh, and throwing back to the corner. Or towards the corner, and so scary.
This is not a good place for REO.
Great crouch, because that would have potentially been death. 1 hit into EX breath, trait would have been activated, and a forwarder back 3 would have done huge damage and possibly killed REO, so good stuff there. REO has to mount an insane comeback again if he wants to win this.
And he has no bars to work with, unlike the first match where he did. He almost had 4 bars to work in the same situation.
Here we go.
Oh my goodness.
That is the mix.
Here's some damage.
Overhead demon, low stomp, meter burn, huge damage. Would have got a back 3, great ender, and would have got a corner push. So smart clash by Tweedy. And Tweedy's still holding on to significant bar. Oh, and look, I think Rio tried to press a button and instead caught some kind of negative edge because I heard a laser start up. And wow, Tweedy up 2-0 here on Rio, guys.
That's been a lot of people's gripe, and some of it, you know, maybe just kind of getting familiar with, you know, doing pokes into specials as an actual combo starter and having to do that a lot more. But I talked to one of our fellow NRS members, FGC community members. It has to do with, because I thought maybe it was like a block stun type of thing that I just wasn't used to yet, because it was happening to me a lot too, where you get down 1 into a special and you didn't mean to. So if you turn input shortcuts off, that will actually stop it from doing that, because it's reading not only your buttons but your directional inputs as well, and it knows you're holding down. So once you do like forward 1 or a back 2, it's gonna read it as down forward 1 or down back 2.
Oh, and catching him with the 3-on-4, 2-3, huge damage potential here.
Or the double jump. Good block. This is the 3rd time Rio has been in this situation.
Losing health, back to the
This
corner.
early.
Oh, and those barrels, so destructive, unblockable. Full screen.
Oh, and he really wanted that damage.
Yeah, he opted not to go for the mix and instead tried to catch Tweedy pressing the button there. And now the health lead for Rio. Oh, and the laser does. Those lasers. Sometimes they'll hit the highest point, sometimes at the lowest point. Omega beams, ladies and gentlemen.
That actually was really good by Rio to just do an empty jump into a laser. Tweedy thought he was going to teleport because Rio was pretty close to the corner.
And now the zoning from Rio looking much better. And the fight in Rio is so fun to watch. He could be down, as you saw there, 2-0, health deficit, and still fighting as if he is going to win this. Nothing more than a nuisance.
This is the first time Rio's been in this situation. And not to mention Tweedy as well, but Tweedy is in.
What a read on the up Omega beam.
Very good.
Throw on the roller coaster cage. And I like that teleport in the low because a lot of dark sides like to teleport into that back 1 overhead chop. A very good mix up from Rio. Ooh, go for the hard knockdown setup.
Ooh, the hard knockdown.
But the delayed wake up from Rio, getting him out of it, and Rio taking a game. We got ourselves a match, guys. Rio needs 2 games straight. He has to reverse 3-0 Tweedy if he wants to advance, taking 1 game. And if it looks like if Rio is able to keep the health, you know, close and the first bar of health, he's been getting things going, but he's lost so much health to Tweedy early that if he can find himself in a position where he has the health lead, it could turn around for Rio really quick.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what we saw there. You know, Rio took Tweedy's life bar first and still had, you know, 3/4 of his health left.
Oh, a very good check.
Good down 1.
Here comes the demon, and now Tweedy is off of that trait.
Ooh, that was a good block, actually.
I believe it's a stand 2, and that is a mid, but the range is not huge. Oh, potential mix time. Oh, it just goes for the raw damage. Oh, very good use of the trait from Rio. Putting himself in a situation where it was Tweedy's turn to check, but had that demon just in case. Very, very similar to Batman's trait. Oh, and the raw laser from Rio. That was some balls on Rio to go for that. Especially as traded up Superman, where the damage can be deep. Chip out territory. And a whiff punish.
Very good.
Neither man nor God can stop me.
And that is a good trade for Rio. 120 damage. That is really good for a projectile. And checking the advancements. I love this from Rio. And the instant airs. Here we
Rio
go.
is- oh,
Taking that
my
first bar of
goodness.
health by any means necessary.
Even still, it may be a little bit too late for Tweedy to mount this comeback.
Please, don't get up. Oh, and that down one.
Oh,
Used to perfection by Rio. And this
which is something that Darkseid, you know, really struggles against. His people in his face. His buttons aren't really the fastest.
very good,
Oh.
Tweedy. But
Tweedy
look at how
not
much-
out
look
yet.
at how much bar Rio has, and
Oh my God!
trying to air escape with the down one laser.
Okay.
2-2, guys. We got our first game 5 on stream, and it is between Tweedy and Rio.
Superman versus Darkseid. Literally War of the Gods. On War of the Gods, this is actually perfect. And I like this adjustment from Rio.
Dark side. Fighters approaching Red Sun Prison.
I can't even make a guess as to who's going to run away with this, because right now Tweedy knows what his adjustment needs to be, and Rio is just, he's doing everything perfect to keep Tweedy away from him and not get himself locked in the corner. But they're reminiscent of the very first round of the very first match. Gets opened up with 2 throws.
And that's big damage with that trade activated. Wake up flying knee, and now Rio gets to play his game full screen.
Oh my God.
A very good use of everything on the screen from Rio. He is used to playing those control characters where they have tools.
Oh no.
He was a Martian player back in Injustice 1 where he could play with orbs. He could play with different projectiles, teleports, and he is playing space game perfectly right now. Rio taking a huge health lead, trying to reverse 3-0 Tweedy right now. This is insane.
Rio has turned up. He has shown up. This is really, really good from him. Tweedy's sitting on 4 bars right now. Can get so much damage. Oh, and a very good whip punish.
And uses that trait. It's special, but Tweedy is going to be close to killing here.
This
Huge
oh, no.
damage. That's that disgusting damage you saw earlier. And what attack from Rio, but it's not going to save him on the first bar of health. Tweedy almost evening things up. This is an insane match.
Okay, Tweedy wants lockdown in the corner. Armored 4-3. Into the meter burn. Ice spread. No! He drops it still. Good amount of damage. Oh no, Rio commits.
Grow tired of worse.
He's going to get a decent amount of health back.
I thought you understood. Sorry.
I know that he's going to save a bar for something, and he only does 2 bars. Very good. He's going to put himself at about half health.
Still even despite all this damage that's been done between the two. Health is pretty much still even. Oh, and Tweedy has a slight health lead.
Oh, and then what that was,
the throw whipped.
and that should do
He
it for
was
Tweedy,
still in the air.
and that is going to do
my-
it. Wow, ladies and gentlemen, that was insane. The comeback from Tweedy after Rio's adjustments